My name is Vera and I'm a columnist at Katmai.com. And today I'm going to talk about famous diets to lose weight. It's a huge topic even though it seems easy, but it is actually very complicated. So I thought it better to focus on what I'm going to say if you decided to learn about it. Then stay with me till the end of this video, because I will tell you the top 10 diets options with their pro and cons. Before that, I suggest finding the best diet option is starting by asking yourself what you want to achieve. Lose weight? Minimize overeating? Healthy food? Longer healthy life? So what matters to you is the overall picture. I would like to point out that eating is just one behavior in the health chain. So let's start. People love taking diets and changing them to suit themselves to make up something new. The ketogenic diet is no exception. So let's look at a few of the options floating around when doing the keto diet. Option 1. Vegan and vegetarian keto. This means that you simply adjust and choose to eat soy, but usually only certain types like tofu. You need to add in legumes and eat more nuts and seeds to get enough protein. It can be tough to eat keto and be a vegan. It's easier if you are a vegetarian and eat cheese, although cheese is not an option on all keto plans. Option 2. High-protein ketogenic. The keto diet is a moderate protein diet as it's believed you don't need more than 15% of your calories to be from protein to be healthy. However, some people have a reason to have more protein, such as if they're recovering from surgery or an injury or are bodybuilders. This plan can work for people who are in recovery, but it can be hard on the kidneys, so be careful with that. Option 3. Restricted ketogenic. This simply means that some resistant people need to count their calories and restrict them to jumpstart weight loss and health improvement. This can happen if you have an underlying illness, such as hypothyroidism or other autoimmune illnesses. Basically, you use a chart to determine your ideal weight and then eat only the calories required to maintain that weight in the food groups allowed on your version of keto. This can be very difficult to stick with if the calories are super low, due to the lower volume of food on all keto plans. Kept option 4. Targeted ketogenic. On keto, you only get so many carbs a day, but sometimes this is challenging for people who work out, as they need a little more glycogen stores to keep up and perform at a high level. Therefore, they eat their carbs before and after workouts instead of just with meals. As you can see, this lifestyle can be modified to meet your needs. The main point is that you want to eat low enough in carbs to cause your body to produce ketones. When you have ketones, you improve your health because they're neuroprotective and give you lots of energy and vibrancy. However, you choose to modify this way of life. Stick to the main principles regarding your carbohydrate, fat, and protein ratios. Don't try to be sneaky about what you are eating. Your body cannot be tricked, and you cannot go back and forth from keto to high carb and expect it to work. Next is Weight Watchers, which is one of the most popular diets as well. The Weight Watchers diet is something almost everyone who has ever dieted has tried. Their main claim to fame is their point system. They give higher points to things that have fewer nutrients, more fat, and more protein than they do to food like fruit and veggies. In fact, most fruit and veggies have 0 points per serving. Let's check out the pros of this diet. One of the biggest pros is that you can eat any food you want to eat when you are on the Weight Watchers program. However, you have to avoid eating more than your allocated points. They assign points to encourage you to eat what is healthier, in their opinion. Therefore, most junk food will have higher points than healthy food. The other pros to this diet are that you get lots of support in the form of meetings and groups, both online and offline. In addition, you get tips for cooking, how to fight cravings, and so much more out of the group environment. The final good thing about this diet is that you will lose weight very slowly as you build this diet into a lifestyle and create good habits. Now let's check out the cons of this diet. The only real cons are that it can be costly to join a membership. You'll have to pay every month if you want to keep going to meetings and getting the information. That cost can add up to hundreds of dollars a year. But in some ways, this doesn't even matter because many people don't want to go to meetings. But, of course, Weight Watchers do have their online program now too, so that helps. The other problem, though, is that like counting calories, it can be a pain to have to stop what you're doing to compute points. Plus, the type of freedom you get to eat whatever you want doesn't work for some people, especially anyone who is a food addict. Sometimes at meetings, you'll find a recipe for something that has no nutritional benefit but is low in points because it's full of fake stuff and lots of chemicals. That is not a good thing. Let's move forward to the next diet, Slimming World. And now we're going to look at the pros and cons. If you haven't heard of this diet yet, you may be in the minority. This diet has been around for more than 50 years. The crux of the program is that you get access to the diet if you become a paying member. But the plan is essentially calorie-based. They teach that you must expend more calories than you eat to lose weight, while eating pasta, lean meat, rice, fish, fruit, vegetables, and limiting low-nutrient food like bread and alcohol. You can choose from free foods, healthy extras, and sins, which doesn't mean sin, but instead allows you to eat some of those forbidden things on the naughty list. The pros of this plan are that you get support, plus you get a plan. Most people do better on diets if they have a real plan to follow. You don't even have to count calories. Instead, you count sins, which is the restricted food. The cons of this diet are that you never really learn how much you can eat of anything or what a normal portion size looks like. The other pro of this plan is that you can eat a wide variety of food from all food groups. That means that you don't need anything special to follow this plan. You must count your sins each day, though. Which brings us to the con. Counting anything is hard to remember, and this diet gives you too much to remember and relies on falsely low in calorie, fake food like fat-free dairy and so forth. This plan focuses on healthy carbs and is really close to a pescatarian's diet. That is essentially a vegetarian who eats eggs, cheese, and fish. It might be hard to control yourself and not overeat on the allowed food and miscount your sins. However, a lot of people like the ease and flexibility of this plan too. The main thing is, when choosing a plan, break it down to the basics, then compare it to your lifestyle. Imagine yourself fitting it in and doing it. Then, try it for a limited trial to see how it goes. You can do almost anything for 30 days, without causing too much harm. Now we move to another diet, the Rosemary Conley diet, and we're going to look at the Rosemary Conley diet in detail. Rosemary offers more than one diet plan on her website, rosemaryconley.com. The main thing that she offers is an online community of support, in exchange for your membership. You can also get meal plans and help for the diet you choose to follow based on the choices she offers. She has various plans subject to interest and motivation. One of the diets is 3-2-1 diet. This is a modified version of intermittent fasting, alternating light eating days with regular eating days. In short, on this plan, you'll eat 800 calories for 3 days the first week, 2 the second, and alternate that until you reach your goal and then go to just 1 day of 800 calories a week. The pros of this idea are that instead of not eating at all, you can eat something on light eating days and lose weight. The cons are that you will have to be very dedicated to eating such low calories on light eating days to make it work. Another one is Complete Lifestyle Change Diet. This is a 12-week plan to get in plant-based and gluten-free versions. Essentially, it's a healthy calorie-controlled plan that includes exercise and training in why and how you should exercise to maximize weight loss. While the idea of a complete lifestyle change might make this diet look like a con, the pros are that a healthy balanced diet can be had in a calorie-controlled environment. And that it will work. Plant-based is her other diet. This plan is for people who want to eat plant-based for health. It includes a lot of different recipes and meals to choose from. It's not as hard as you might think to follow this plan. The cons of this plan are that most people do not stick to a plant-based diet long, especially if they have to eat out a lot. The pros are you'll stop having bad breath, and you will lose weight by eating a large quantity of food. Let's move to Rosemary's next plan. The 28-day Lean and Clean Plan. This choice is a good way to help you get on the right plan. It is calorie-controlled, so you will lose weight, but the point is to eat as clean as possible, to give your digestive system rest to heal your body and mind. The cons are that clean eating is in the eye of the beholder. And some of the items might not be so clean. The pros are, of course, that it works. Anytime you control calories, you will lose weight. Amazing inch loss plan. This is also a calorie-controlled diet, where you start with 1,200 calories and then move up so you can lose fast each month. You also get a fitness diary included so you can monitor that too. This is a lot like the idea behind most popular plans. Start super low to activate fast weight loss for motivation, then slow it back down. There are pros and cons to this, as some people have a hard time sticking to that low of calories. But since it includes a meal plan and you're not alone, that is a pro. Moving forward, next plan is Fat Attack Booster. This plan helps you lose weight faster and in a healthy way. You'll be eating low-fat, low-glycemic foods along with high-protein meals. You'll even see a few vegetarian options. And don't forget dessert. The con of this diet is the high-protein meals. Most people do not need high protein, and it can also cause kidney problems for some people. The pros are that it does work, and you will lose weight fast. Last one, Diet Rosemary Program. Get Hip and Thigh Plan. This is a flexible diet that allows you to interchange the things you choose to eat. You simply follow the plan, but you lose weight due to the calorie-controlled meals and the exercise you will do. The pro of this plan is that you just follow the meal plan, and you don't need to think about the calories as it's already all planned out. The only con is you must exercise. But of course, you need to do that anyway, right? Her program is just a very reasonable monthly membership fee. You can join any plan that you want, and with the group's help, stick to the plan and lose weight and get healthy. It's hard to find any downsides to joining her group and trying one of her plans. Our next diet variant, Raw Food Diet. Popularized by Freely the Banana Girl. Due to her inflammatory, anti-meat eating videos, the raw food diet used to be known as the secret of the stars. In fact, rumor has it that Beyoncé has gone on a diet temporarily and successfully. Essentially, you can eat anything you want if it's plant-based and raw. You must be thinking about what is raw. In this diet, raw is defined as not heating anything over 120 degrees F after that, and there are variations you can do on this plan. For example, some people eat low-fat, to no added fat, high-carb vegan on this plan, and some people eat higher-fat, more gourmet raw dishes. The low-fat vegan plan will help you lose weight. The higher-fat plan works too for some people, but people tend to fall off that one faster because the prep is intense. There is one more variation to this diet that has started turning up, and that's non-vegan raw food dieters. The main downside to that is the danger of illness from uncooked animal products, and it's just not recommended, which is why we are focusing on the vegan raw diet. The idea of the raw diet is that you can eat all you want of fruit and vegetables. However, you should be careful about added fat, nuts, seeds, and processed, raw foods, and high-fat treats like raw chocolate peanut butter cups or certain raw smoothies, which can be very caloric. That brings us to a con about the program. There is so much disagreement about what is considered healthy on this plan, and people tend to fall off. It's super hard to be social and be raw. But as normal, the biggest pro is that people are thriving on this way of eating long-term. If they're paying attention to their nutrition and eating enough food. You need to eat large quantities of fruit to get enough calories, which is the reason that people are not hungry on the plane. A typical raw food eater may eat 20 oranges for breakfast or 10 peaches. There is no limit, and it can be a challenge for some to get in enough calories. This is a good plan for short-term options, especially if you have stomach troubles. Many people report excellent digestion on the low-fat, high-carb vegan version of this diet. However, people also say a lot of constipation on the high-fat version. And for some people, eating a diet high in fruit, sugar, is bad for their blood sugar levels and triglycerides, which may rise to dangerous levels in some people on this plan. The next diet we're going to look at is the low-fat diet. Many people like to go on a low-fat diet to lose weight and improve heart health. The problem with this diet is that there is no agreement on what constitutes low-fat. Many people who criticize this state that the less than 30% fat guidelines are wrong and that this guideline confuses people, since 30% of calories from fat is moderate and not low. Many proponents of the low-fat diet state that your macros should be the 10th of October 80, meaning 80% from healthy carbohydrates like veggies, and 10% from lean protein, and 10% from healthy fruit-based fats like olive oil and coconut oil. There is a book by the name The 10th of October 80 that gives some science about these facts. However, that book recommends eating raw vegan. The truth is, if you can eat the 10th of October 80 on any diet, you'll lose weight faster and practically make yourself heart attack proof. The main reason is that to get enough calories on this plan, and you will have to eat a lot of salad and thus nutrition. But, therein lies the problem. Sticking to that regimen is hard. For this reason, low-fat diets once researched never pan out to be better than the high-fat, low-carb diets people enjoy. That's because they're eating less than 30% of fat, so you know that people will consume 29% or 29.9% of their calories from fat. Since that's moderate, if not high fat for most people trying to lose weight, it's not working long term. Sadly, another con of this diet is that it's so commercialized. Today you can buy many fake fat foods that seem to have no fat, just like you can buy no sugar sodas. The problem is, neither of these is healthy for you and, in fact, is likely to be worse for you than eating or drinking the real version. So, due to all the processed low-fat products you can buy now, this diet has fewer good results for people. Having said all that, if you want to eat low-fat or need to for a health reason, do it the right way. Eat only whole foods, avoid processed food, and don't buy fake fat stuff because it's not healthier and will not help you accomplish your real goal on this diet, which is to lose weight, lower your cholesterol and get more fit. You've probably heard of the GI diet. That's the one we're going to look at in our next topic. We are learning about how sugar affects the body and how even things we don't normally associate with sugar are high in sugar. These high sugar things affect your blood glucose levels, which are responsible for your cravings and hunger, as well as your ability to pay attention and get things done. The idea is that if you can keep your blood sugar stable, your hunger will be stable, you'll feel better, and you'll also lose weight. The pro of this diet is that it's relatively healthy to follow. Plus, it's easy to follow. You can get a list of low glycemic food offline and follow it yourself. Just don't eat the high GI foods and opt for the low GI foods. Focus on eating whole foods, avoiding processed fake food. Eat when you are hungry and stop when you are full. Of course, stay hydrated. The idea is that your cravings will lessen, and you will not be as hungry, so you'll eat less and lose more weight than on other types of diets. The plan revolves around carbs, which are made up of sugars, starches, and fiber. Fiber lowers the GI level of food, which is why you can eat a sweet, crunchy apple on this diet, but you should avoid a white potato. Let's learn about GI values. As you learn more about the GI values of the food you eat, it'll start to come second nature, but at first, get a list to figure out what to eat when you're out and about. That's another positive about this diet. You can do it anywhere. You can eat such a large variety of food that you won't really be missing out on anything, so it's easier to stick to. Of course, being easy to stick to brings us to a con on this diet. When something offers such a wide latitude of eating, some people find it hard to avoid eating too many calories. It honestly depends on how you were eating previously. If you tend toward eating a lot of sugar and starch, this diet will help you lose weight. However, if you did not start this diet, it might not work as well for you. Another diet that focuses on a sugar-free diet. It was made famous by the self-published Sugar Busters. Cut sugar to trim fat in 1995, and this diet seeks to eliminate eating of sugar, white flour, white potatoes, and white rice. Basically, if the food is made with any of these items, it's out. The biggest con to this diet is that some studies have indicated that it may open people up to more heart disease, not less. One reason is that it relies on a lot of processed food to exist. Most people will not be happy never having any type of sugar. Even the sugar found in carrots is considered off the plate. So any diet that asks that you eliminate all fruit and many vegetables is probably not the best, especially when it includes processed fake food. Another con to this diet is that you cannot modify it to work for a vegetarian or vegan diet. It restricts too many fruits and veggies to make that work. Since those things are healthy for us, it's important to question any diet that eliminates a food group. Although eating less sugar in general, significantly added table sugar, is always healthier than eating it, eliminating all fruit and many veggies is questionable. A major pro of this diet is that it does help you get off refined sugar. Doing this diet short-term to get off refined sugar might be a good idea if you find that you're eating a lot each day and still craving more. Because of the severity of this diet, you usually do not need to count calories. But if you find that you're eating a lot of packaged food because it fits the no sugar criteria, you may want to check your calorie levels. The other pro is that the diet itself encourages exercise, eating regularly, and staying hydrated. After all, being healthy is important too. Being thin is not going to make anyone healthy if they get thin in an unhealthy way. For most people, this diet, unless you have been diagnosed with diabetes, can be avoided and passed over for something a lot more flexible, realistic and healthier. Let's move to our diet number 9. This is the detox diet. There is a new detox diet coming out every day. The exciting thing about detox diets is that there is no scientific proof that anything gets detoxed. In fact, sometimes there is proof that it is damaging, but people still do it. Let's go over a few of the popular detox diets you can choose from if you are so inclined. Juice cleanse. This is one of the most popular cleansing diets that exist. You can even go to your local juice shop and sign up for a cleanse. You'll signs up, then pick up your juices every day or so, depending on your store. There is anecdotal evidence that some people have experienced improved digestion, healed autoimmune disorders, and had other improvements, including weight loss. However, not all weight loss is going to be permanent. In this case, the minute you go back to eating food, you will puff up and regain the weight. Water fast detox. This is another super popular health trend that can be very damaging and has even resulted in deaths. The idea is that you drink water for an extended period of time. Some people have done these detoxes for 60 and even 90 days. This is very dangerous, and most people should not do it. It's okay to only drink water for a day or two, but anything longer will cause you to lose muscle and get sick. Detox tea. Cashing in on the detox trend means you can buy detox tea to help you go through a detox regimen. The way the tea works is to drink it while you're fasting, juicing, or water fasting. The problem is that many of these teas have too much caffeine and can cause heartburn and indigestion in some people. Smoothie detox. This literally just consists of replacing your meals with smoothies made from raw whole food plant-based ingredients. For example, you might eat a smoothie with spinach, banana, and almond milk as a meal. Because you will get more nutrients in this plan than the others, it's preferable to do a detox, but watch the sugar and fat. Many gurus like Dr. Oz and others have also come out with their own detox diets and cleanses, which can often be taken with a grain of salt as to whether they're going to help someone lose weight or not. It's okay to do a cleanse for a couple of days, though, just to reset your hunger levels, but please talk to a healthcare professional and be monitored if you want to do it long-term, more than 3 days, to ensure that your blood sugar, electrolytes, and other systems are working properly. And our final diet, we're going to look at the pros and cons of the popular Mediterranean diet. One of the easiest and healthiest diets that exist, the Mediterranean diet allows you to eat a little bit of everything, focusing on whole foods, veggies, fruit, and so forth. It is mostly a plant-based diet with meat as a condiment for flavor, if you want to use it. Think healthy salad topped with an ounce of lean steak, with an olive oil-based dressing. On a Mediterranean diet, you should eat 4 or more servings of fruit and vegetables, 2 or more servings of whole grains, 1 to 2 servings of nuts or seeds, and 1 serving of protein such as fish, poultry, eggs, red meat, or legumes each day. While calorie counting is not required, you may want to at first if you tend to overeat to ensure you are eating the number of calories you need to maintain your ideal weight. Reduces belly fat. Belly fat, especially the hard kind, indicates heart attack dangers. Anything you can do to reduce your belly fat should be done because it is a sign of impending heart disease. Thankfully, it can be reversed with diet in some people. More permanent weight loss. This diet is so forgiving that it's a lot simpler to stick to, as long as you have your serving sizes clear. One problem with eating today is that serving sizes are so big now. As they grew in restaurants, they also increased at home. Even the plates we buy today are more significant than those people bought in the 60s and 70s. No to low hunger. There is no reason to get hungry because you can eat as many veggies as you want to on this plan if you're careful about what you add to them. The Mediterranean diet is a moderate fat, moderate protein diet, so you should never get hungry. So let's discuss the cons of the Mediterranean diet. Meat or no meat? You'll have to choose for yourself. If you do add meat, remember to treat it like a condiment and flavor. It should be part of your meal but not your entire meal. This might be hard for some people to do. Dairy or no dairy? You get to choose, but sometimes choices can get us into trouble in terms of overeating. Yes, you can have dairy, but if you do, again, take some time to learn about serving sizes, make it rare, and add flavor. For example, putting a small teaspoon dollop of sour cream on top of something is acceptable, but not an entire cup stirred into the sauce. Fake food on this diet. You cannot eat fake food, and while this is listed as a con, it's a good rule. But it can make it harder to find the right food to eat on this diet, if you're used to the fake flavors. Also, it might take a bit of time to enjoy the food in its natural state. Whether you choose to take this all the way to vegan, or you keep eating meat and dairy, is up to you. Although you add meat and dairy, you'll need to pay closer attention to serving sizes since these items are calorically dense than veggies and fruit. The plan will still help you lose weight and get healthier. Some people say it's the easiest diet to follow and the most beneficial because you don't have to eliminate any whole food group. That's all for now. If you want to learn more, visit our website katmy.com, which has several ebooks to download and hundreds of articles. So, for now, goodbye and take care.